Leaders in Eastern Kentucky have joined forces once again to put together a two-day conference later this month at the Middlesboro campus of Southeast Kentucky Community and Technical College. It's the second annual Selling to the World Expo. We'll talk about the event and how you can get involved tonight on Issues and Answers, the Mountain Edition.
Issues and Answers, the Mountain Edition, is sponsored by the City of Hazard. Come home to the mountains.
Join the fun. It's all free on Saturday, June 27th at Summer in the Park in downtown Hazard. The Monarch Butterfly Way Station and Garden will be officially open. Arts, crafts, local authors, and Appalachian photography will be on exhibit and for sale. There'll be fun, games, plays, and performances. All activities are free. Concessions available, or bring a picnic to Summer in the Park at Bobby Davis Park in downtown Hazard, Saturday, June 27th at 4 p.m.
Joining us tonight, we have Michael Cornett, the Director of Agency Expansion for the East Kentucky Concentrated Employment Program, or EKCEP. And we have Danelle O'Connell, the Director of the Selling to the World Initiative. Thank you both for being with us tonight. And Danelle, you're brand new to Eastern Kentucky, right? Only been here a couple of weeks?
That's correct.
But you've been working on this project, I know, a little bit longer. Just first of all, for folks who aren't familiar with Selling to the World, tell me a little bit about this event and when and where it's going to be held.
Well, this is the second year for the expo. It's going to be held on Thursday, June 25th and Friday, June 26th at Southeast Kentucky Community and Technical College. And it's really for folks who are wanting to start a small business or currently have a small business, a product they may or may not know how to sell locally, regionally, statewide, or globally. And so this conference is set up to help prepare them and give them the tools they need.
And Michael, what was the reaction to this event last year? Obviously, you're having it again, so I assume it was a good reaction, but it was in May, I believe, last year, so it's been a little more than a year ago. Tell me what the reaction was and why you decided to do it again this year.
Well, the reaction was great, Steve. We had around 100 people show up last year, and that included, like Danelle said, artisans, crafters, people with prospective business ideas and just looking to launch into a small business of their own. They were able to come in and get immersed into a lot of different expert-led lessons on how to get a small business stood up. So we felt that it was a great success and wanted to carry that over into a second year and then hopefully onward beyond this year too. But really the partnership is what powers that along, and that's not just my agency, but is due in large part to, as Danelle said, Southeast Kentucky Community and Technical College. The idea itself was really the baby of Dr. Vic Adams, the Workforce Solutions Vice President there. He came to us a long time ago and had this idea and wanted to form a partnership, sort of a coalition to bring this to bear and to make it grow and to make it work. And that's exactly what we did. So we pulled into that Kentucky Highlands Investment Corporation out of London, led by the great Jerry Rickett and all his wonderful staff. The Kentucky Small Business Development Center that's also housed at the college in Middlesboro there, with Sam Coleman, the director of that. We also have the National Association of Community College Entrepreneurialism, NACE. They are a great partner in this effort for us. And last but not least, Discover Downtown Middlesboro, which is a Main Street organization, and they've come into the fold this year to help us on the event, but then also the rollout of some other more intense mentoring activities that are going to go on as a result of the expo at the end of this month and onward. So it's a wonderful partnership. It takes a lot of people, a lot of boots on the ground, and a lot of work, but we all roll up our sleeves and get it done, and we're looking forward to the event this month.
Coming up very soon. Let's take a look at this year's agenda. Day one and new this year is something called the Growth Wheel Business Planning System. Tell me about that.
Well, Growth Wheel is really a different spin on building a business concept. A lot of times business advisors will have almost a template type approach to a business plan where you fit certain things into certain boxes and you build it out and you write up this big document and you take it to a bank and say, give me money for something. Growth Wheel pulls that back a bit and uses really a visual approach to that. And it takes a wheel, hence the name. It splits it into 4 quadrants, and it really takes a look at all the things that are needs and challenges that are common among all businesses, whether they're a new business or a person with a business idea or a long-standing business that's looking to grow and expand. So it takes a look at your business concept first and foremost, just the nugget of an idea or the concept you've put forward. It looks at your organization, your employees, the people you have working, all the way up to your board of directors and people who form the vision and lead the organization. Your client relations, your branding, your marketing, your PR, your sales, things that get the word out, get your image out to the public, and sell what you're doing. And then also your operations. You can't do any of the above without having your profits and losses balancing out and having a profitable operation. So Growth Wheel splits the wheel into those four pieces, and you take a look overall at what your business is or what your idea is, and you fit where your needs are at the moment and gauge that. And it's really a holistic approach to taking a look at where your business idea or your business stands to analyze what your needs are. It's kind of a self-examination for that business owner or that prospective entrepreneur. So you start with an overall view and look at all these different areas, and there's various worksheets that you can apply to lead them through all of that. And the great thing about it in relation to our event is that you can start out with that overall look, but we're going to have 5 certified and licensed Growth Wheel advisors, all from Eastern Kentucky, all from our collective. Danelle's one of them, as a matter of fact. They're going to lead these Growth Wheel sessions. So in the first day of our Selling to the World Expo, there's going to be sessions specifically on each of the 4 things that I mentioned. So anybody who's there can really dive deep into each one of those respective areas and take their business idea, and our people are going to help them break that down and look at all the specifics that go into that, and again, get them analyzing where they are and where they need to go. And the great thing is if they've already got great branding, great marketing, or great sales, you move to some other aspect of the Growth Wheel, and that's where you start. So it's totally customizable, just like the Growth Wheel system is. You can start where you feel that you need, but by the end of the 2-day expo, you're going to move through the entire Growth Wheel and come out with a great idea of where your business stands and where it needs to go. And what's more is that you're going to get a year of free Growth Wheel business advising through the Kentucky SBDC just by coming and being a part of our 2-day expo at the end of this month. So it's a good idea.
And it sounds like it's going to be a very good deal financially for folks.
Absolutely, yeah. Growth Wheel in and of itself, to take that, typically costs more than what the price of admission to our event is. So in essence, by coming to our event, you're getting the Growth Wheel service for free. So we think that's a great perk for our region. And by the way, our delivery of the Growth Wheel service is the first foray of this service into Kentucky. We became the 32nd state in the country that is now using Growth Wheel for business advising. So we're really proud of that achievement, and we hope to be the spark that can help that grow throughout the state of Kentucky through various other organizations, and I think our partnership will help push that forward.
Danelle, on day 2, you've got all kinds of expert-led sessions. I just wanted to kind of run down some of those to give folks an idea of what they're going to be hearing about. You've got Small Business 101 and creating a winning business plan, social media marketing, web design for small businesses. How important is social media and web design for small businesses today? I know it's becoming even more important as the months and years go by, isn't it?
Definitely, it's the new age way of marketing and reaching our customer base. If it's even local, regionally, throughout the states, or globally, it is very important to have a website that's current, up-to-date, user-friendly, and also with the social media outlets through Twitter and Facebook. There's people like to have that access right then and there to look for what they need, find the answers, find your contact information. So it's very important to be out there on the World Wide Web.
You've got a basic bookkeeping session. You've got one USDA food guidelines. What's that all about? And who's that for?
Well, that would be for someone who, I don't know if they make chow chow or they make canned pickles. You have people, or raw honey. Local agriculture and local foods is becoming a big push in Eastern Kentucky. It has been for years, but the focus is on that now, particularly with Appalachian Proud, Kentucky Proud, and really with SOAR, bringing a focus to that with the working group activity. So what do you do with that? I mean, can you just throw it in a jar and take it down the corner of the street? Well, you can if you're just doing it locally, but if you want to sell it to the world, sell it through the web, you have to be able to know what the guidelines are, what goes on your label. Yeah. What do I do with that? How do I weigh this, and how do I factor that into how I ship this to people who may want to buy my canned pickles in California or my raw honey in Vermont. You know, there's a lot of things that go into that. You don't know that just by simply being a local foods person and having a great product. So our people at this, our experts, are going to be able to lead people through what they need to know to be able to understand the processes that go behind that and all the legalities and expectations that the federal government has to ship products like that and to sell it, because it's not very simple.
Yeah, and I guess all these sessions on day 2 are going to be going on kind of at the same time, so you kind of pick and choose which ones you are more applied to you. But
That's right.
you've also got how to patent your product or idea, which you know, folks selling these things at festivals and stuff, that would be very important for them. What's fulfillment by Amazon? Tell me about that one.
Well, you know, Amazon is a great service, and you know, they ship things all over the world. So what goes into that? How do I get my product hosted with Amazon? How do I take my, I'm not going to use the pickle example again, I promise, but whatever that product happens to be. Say I'm a person that collects junk parts for motorcycles, but there's a big market for that. How do I stand up a business for that, and how do I sell that through Amazon and make my money, deal with the taxes? Again, the overall fulfillment picture. There's a lot of, again, legalities that go into that. So we're going to have people there who deal directly with Amazon and help people understand what they need to know to utilize that. Because again, Amazon is the global marketplace. That's the most popular thing out there. I use it all the time, and most everyone does. We all probably do at the table. So, so there, again, there's things people just inherently don't know, but they need to understand if they want to make that a viable tool for their business.
There's going on down the list, there's capital business loans, from hobby to profit, and I would think that would interest a lot of people around here, because people that go around to these festivals and sell their goods, hey, you can make a profit from that stuff, and people may not know how to do it.
Most certainly, and the person leading that's Ed Lawrence from the Kentucky Arts Council, who's been a great partner for us. He led that session last year, is coming back to do it again. Once more, it's something where if you just simply don't know how to take that great thing you're doing that people love and enjoy, but make it a profitable business, Ed has some great strategies for that, and he's going to let everybody know about that at the event.
You've also got business law, market research and strategy, photography for marketing. Tell me about some of those sessions.
Well, I'll give you a great example for the photography end of things. Going back to Vic Adams from Southeast College, his son has launched a very thriving, successful online business. He takes rare woods from our hills in eastern Kentucky and makes countertops and other wood products with those, and sells those online. Has done very well through Etsy, eBay, and things of that effect. To where that's the only business he has now. So he has employees, and it's his full-time occupation. He had sold some wares to someone across the country, and the woman who bought one of his countertops loved it so much that she came back and said, your pictures on your website just don't do it justice. So she brought in a professional photographer on her dime and paid for that, paid big money to have someone come in and take, set up the lights, do the studio type lighting, big cameras, big production, and take wonderful professional photographs of his products in her home installed, and then share those with him so he could then use that to market his products. So we thought, well, wouldn't it be great to show people, if you do something similar to that or make other products that can be used in the home, you can't just take a picture with your iPhone and put it up there and expect that to be a good way to promote and market your product on a website. Right. Sometimes you need to throw a light or two up and have a reflector and make it look really good. So we want to show people with some pro photography skills, have them in front of the room and show people, and stress the importance of that for people that are in attendance.
You also have sessions on selling at trade shows and exporting. So there are a ton of things on day 2 that folks can attend, and it appeals, I would think, to a wide range of people from all over eastern Kentucky.
Absolutely.
Danelle, just tell us how you can register for this, because it's coming up soon, and how much does it cost?
Definitely. You're going to want to register before June 25th, and you can do that online at sellingtotheworld.com, and it's number 2, or you can call Southeast at 606-248-2224, and registration is only $30 for the 2 days. And above and beyond that, for aspiring business owners, or an artist or a crafts person, they can also apply for the scholarship. Again, the scholarship is online. They can fill out or get that phone number a call, and we can help you fill out that process for a scholarship.
And I believe we have the number and website, if we can put that up on the screen so folks can see that. You mentioned conference scholarships available. Tell me more about that.
The scholarships are available to anyone who feels the need for it. They can currently own a business or aspiring to open a business. So anyone, everyone, it's a one-page form. Just fill it out and really tell us your story of why you feel you need this scholarship, and then we'll get in touch with you and let you know if it's approved. But they definitely need to do it before June 12th.
Now, as we mentioned, Danelle, you're new to Eastern Kentucky. Tell me about your previous experience that got you kind of prepared for this.
All right. Well, I come here with 17 years experience. I started in Kansas City, Missouri at a place called Tri-County Mental Health, and it was my duty to reduce underage drinking in 3 counties, so working at the grassroots level, which seems that we've done that here with Selling to the Expo. We started at the grassroots level. I ran 11 different anti-drug coalitions to help reduce underage drinking. Did that for quite a few years. And then I moved on to a Main Street Association, similar to Discover Downtown Middlesboro Main Street Association, and I worked for Parkville in Missouri, and there we did the 4-point approach and to promote the district economic restructuring, design, and organization. But through that, through the promotions committee, it was part of my job was to work with the storefronts, which we had many galleries and artisans on site. I hosted several festivals that were juried, working with true artists and crafters as well. And through that process, you really get to understand the art and the love and the amount of work that goes into each piece. And from there, we also had the Economic Development Council in Parkville, Missouri, and we worked with Park University, which was a global university, and we brought those students' products to our Main Street Association. So it was a great experience to prepare me to be here in Kentucky with you guys.
And I know you've only been here a short time, but what have you seen so far in Eastern Kentucky about not only selling to the world, but some other things going on? Do you believe we're on the right track, as far as the future here in Eastern Kentucky? I'm sure you've heard about SOAR and all the things going on with that.
SOAR and everything. My first visit, there's artisans everywhere here. You guys are definitely very arts-driven, and you're definitely on the right track, and I look forward to reaching out and meeting the folks across Eastern Kentucky.
Michael, you also have a Selling to the World mentoring initiative. Tell me more about that.
Well, the mentoring initiative is a growth outward from the launch of the Expo. And again, now the second year of the Expo. We were approached, my agency was approached by the New York Community Trust back in late 2014. They had a particular funding stream that was specific to projects in Appalachia that were focusing on helping the economy rebuild and diversify in the wake of coal's downturn, which we don't need to talk much about that. It's well documented. Yeah. But we put forth a few different ideas to them as proposals, and one of those was Selling to the World. But we didn't want to just limit it to support of the Expo event, because that was something we were going to stand up regardless. So we wanted to take it a large step further and create a mentoring program, which would be a very intense, high-touch program, a residential program, not really residential, I guess it's a bad term, but something people will come to every day, a small number, about 15 artisans or entrepreneurs to start with, and maybe more, but have them housed in a single facility. We've chosen the Palace on Cumberland Avenue in downtown Middlesboro, which is operated by Discover Downtown Middlesboro. We want to have to select about 15 artisans or entrepreneurs and have them there. And at that facility, they're going to work with Growth Wheel. They're going to work with experts from Southeast Kentucky Community and Technical College, various instructors or adjuncts who are skilled in various different business development tactics. But it isn't going to be just those folks standing up in front of a classroom and delivering entrepreneurial classes or business classes. It's going to be, okay, I'm going to look at your marketing plan today, your marketing plan, each of these people, each of these 15 plus people. and they're going to lead them by the hand through the processes that are required to help them stand up each facet of their business, and really with the goal being in utilizing the growth wheel approach, looking at all the different aspects of business, but then having that high touch daily work on all of those different business people's plans and the aspects of the business, launching online web stores, launching websites, and standing up 15 separate businesses through online web portals, so that we have a large group of new businesses, people having viable, sustainable businesses that we hope would be stood up and would continue to stand up long after their time and period of work at the Palace with Selling to the World and that mentoring initiative ends, because we view that as economic development. You know, that's business creation. Even if they don't have a bricks and mortar store at the end of the day, it may only be an Etsy store, an online store, but that's still a viable online business. You know, we know people in the region who make $500,000 a year selling various things or reselling musical instruments online, and it's just amazing to be able to do that. So I can only imagine there's other people out there that have the similar ideas and great concepts, but they just don't know how to make it all pull together, or they have a great product, they make beautiful dulcimers or guitars, but they don't know how to balance their books. The mentoring initiative for the right people with the best concepts will be a way for them to come in and work full-time on getting everything set up and established and really moving forward long-term for them. So, so that's an exciting thing. We're very grateful to the New York Community Trust for the funding support to get that stood up and moving forward. Without it, we wouldn't be even pursuing it right now for the most part. So, so that's been a great complement to our Selling to the World Expo that already existed, and just a great new way to grow that concept out to a much bigger potential.
Well, Danelle, it sounds like your goal is definitely not to just train these folks and kind of throw them into the fire, but to help them sustain a successful small business going forward, right?
Definitely, definitely. And just like Michael was saying, we're here to help them with every step of the process, to customize a daily, plan for them if they do need help with bookkeeping, or maybe they do need help with the photography. Whatever it is, we're going to help provide those resources and help them through this so that they are successful.
Michael, we've already mentioned SOAR, but let's talk about how all this kind of relates to the SOAR initiative, and what will expanding broadband do for business owners across the region. That's been a big part of SOAR.
Sure. I think we're all waiting patiently and optimistically for the larger broadband expansion project to occur. The super highway, as Congressman Rogers calls it. Obviously the leadership of the congressman's so critical to all of this, as is to Governor Beshear and everyone involved in the SOAR project. Jared Arnett, the executive director, can't say enough good things about that, but I think the internet project is one of the most important components of SOAR as a whole, just simply because there's so many implications of that, Steve, and it's not just with entrepreneurialism, but with the middle mile, and then hopefully as we get into the last mile, that plugs into remote work and telework opportunities as well. But going back to Selling to the World, we need that robust infrastructure, that high-speed broadband. If we do get 15 people stood up as online business owners, they need to have reliable internet access that doesn't go down every time the wind blows or the thunder rolls or lightning strikes down the street. It happens all the time. Especially up at our office, but that's not uncommon anywhere.
No.
In any region of Eastern Kentucky, it's a frequent issue. So having reliable, quality, high-speed broadband is something that everybody is going to I think, realize is one of the most critical components of SOAR. It's something we all need to support and get behind and continue to push as a group, as anyone involved with SOAR. If they're not and they think that's an important piece, get involved with SOAR and help move that forward. For Selling to the World, e-entrepreneurialism is really the way. Not everyone's going to be able to access capital needed to start a business and buy a storefront, set up a shop somewhere, but e-entrepreneurialism, is becoming a huge focus of entrepreneurial training everywhere, because people are realizing you've got to be able to show people how to sell to the world. You can't just teach them to open a small business without having the component of online sales. A lot of people will have a business nowadays and simply have a storefront that they maintain because maybe they've had it for 30, 40 years, but are doing the majority of their shoe sales or belts or whatever, they're selling it online, and that's becoming the norm. more often than not. So getting people armed with the right tools to be able to do that is critical, and that's why we're doing what we're doing with Selling to the World. But having the infrastructure to be able to handle a lot more e-business, e-entrepreneurialism is where that Super Highway project plugs in. So again, we're all waiting to see how that goes, and we're all behind it 110%, and we're really, really happy to see things moving the way they are.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys are really pushing people to think in terms of you don't need an actual storefront anymore
Sure.
to do well.
That's right.
In Eastern Kentucky.
That's right. And we often say that thanks to the internet, we're as flat as Iowa, and I truly believe that, and that powers our Teleworks USA initiative. You can work for companies that are in other countries, you can work with companies across the nation, in other counties of Kentucky, what have you. It matters not if you're in a holler and in Chavies or in Pike County, wherever you want to say. It works well wherever you are, provided there's great internet access. You need to have high broadband download speeds that are acceptable to those companies. So that's the way of the future. And the future is I'd like to say the future's now, the future's coming. We're told that it's coming, so we're waiting on that. But we have to be ready for that. We have to have people ready to install that fiber. We're going to be working with people to get them prepared and trained to be able to move in that direction too, because you got to have a workforce for that. So we're going to look at ways to plug into that as well. So I think there's just tremendous and wonderful synergy going on across all these fronts. And with Selling to the World, it's sort of a confluence of a lot of those good ideas, but you have to have the infrastructure and the support behind it to make everything work.
Yeah. We only have a few seconds left, so I want to put up the number again and the website if folks want more information. And Danelle, just quickly, for folks that have been listening and thinking about maybe this might be something they're interested in, why would you encourage them to attend?
I encourage them to attend to broaden their education, to take the opportunity that's in front of them, especially with the scholarships available, to go ahead and take it, come to the growth wheel training, see how we can help you, attend the additional workshops on Friday the 26th, and just come grasp the opportunity, because all the partners, everyone is here to help these small business owners, artisans, and crafters here in Eastern Kentucky.
Michael, I'll give you the final few seconds. Final thoughts.
Yeah. Again, it's a great opportunity for anybody who is looking to take advantage of the internet to start and grow a small business. Entrepreneurialism is often cited as the engine that will grow economic recovery. We've never had an opportunity to shine as we do right now with all the spotlight of SOAR and all the attention we're getting from all the levels of government. This is a wonderful way to take advantage of that, so everyone should come out.
All right, Michael, thank you very much.
Thanks, sir.
Danelle,
Thank you.
pleasure having you. Welcome to Eastern Kentucky.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on Issues and Answers.